Hey everyone, and welcome to Murder and Mysteries with Megan. If you are new here, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and that post notification bell so that way you're notified every time that I upload a new video. If you're not new here, thank you for coming back and joining me again this week. I hope everyone's having a blessed holiday season despite what's going on in the world right now. To kind of lighten the mood, I wanted to cover something a little bit not quite as gruesome and violent. We're going to cover some of the real life bad Santas. I've got 5 of them that we're going to go over, and then at the end, I've also got a bonus story from the last couple of weeks that has happened as well. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Have a holly jolly greenmas. So this is a story about a Santa who decided to take the have a holly jolly Christmas kind of to the next level. So this man on January 5th of 2015 to spread the last little bit of holiday cheer, a man named Randy Lang actually entered a Buffalo Wild Wings in Monterey County, California. He was dressed in a Santa suit, adorned from head to toe, and had a bag of presents. Well, in this bag of presents, it actually was marijuana that he was passing out. So he goes into this Buffalo Wild Wings and starts passing out little packets to coworkers and the employees and customers and everyone there on the premises. And he actually ended it with taking a part of a brick of marijuana and putting it in the tip jar there at the store as well. So amid him trying to spread this holiday cheer, unfortunately, not all of the employees and the people that were dining in thought this was such a great gift. And so authorities were called to the scene. When police officers got to the scene, one in particular, Sergeant Nick Borges, stated later in an interview that Lang had actually told him when he was arrested that it was just a matter of time before he got caught for doing something like this, and that the officer believed that this was something that he had actually done before and it wasn't his first time. The duffel bag that Lang had with him when entering Buffalo Wild Wings ended up containing approximately 2 pounds of marijuana. This in turn, of course, led to a search of his home. There they found 2 more pounds approximately in his apartment. So that's number 1. Number 2, Getaway sleigh Santa. In Papua New Guinea, 2 men, one dressed as Santa, one dressed as his elf, walked into an office of WOMP NGA Holdings. Now, when he entered the building, he had a bag with him. He told the security guards that he had presents for the employees there and that he wanted to pass them out to the employees. When they went into the boardroom, instead of bringing presents out, Santa and his elf actually ended up holding up NGA Holdings. While they were there, Santa and his elf actually racked up approximately 50,000 kina, which is approximately $14,000 in the U.S. today. Of course, because both of them were dressed up in costume, Santa Claus and his elf, no one was actually able to identify the 2 who robbed WOMP NGA Holdings that year. And both Santa and his elf walked out and disappeared, never to be seen again. Number 3, where are the reindeer? In Sao Paulo, Brazil in 2015, it seems like Santa's reindeer decided it was time for a vacation. And so they stayed behind for vacation apparently while Santa had to finish his rounds. So, without any other way around, this Santa had actually rented a helicopter for that afternoon. However, on this Friday afternoon, after he rented the helicopter, Santa then held up the pilot. He made him fly to a farm outside of Sao Paulo. And this is where they met a third person. So, this third person, there wasn't a whole lot of description on. However, when they met this third person, Santa and let's call him his elf decided to tie up the pilot and take off in the helicopter. When these two thieves got in the helicopter and took off, no one ever saw the helicopter again. Now, the pilot, of course, he got loose after a couple of hours and reported his helicopter missing. In turn, of course, like I said, they were never able to find the helicopter. So it just disappeared. Number 4, elves don't work for free. On December 22nd of 2009, a man dressed up in a Santa costume entered into a SunTrust bank in Nashville, Tennessee. This Santa was described as being approximately 6 foot tall, having on sunglasses, and dressed completely in a Santa costume. Now, he went in there, he was jolly and jovial, reportedly, and said that when he got to the counter and the clerk asked him to take his sunglasses off, he pulled out a gun and proceeded to rob the bank. All of the customers inside of the bank actually had a lot to say about this Santa Claus. And the only way that they could describe him to the police officers were these following comments. So I'm going to read you some of the eyewitness accounts of Santa Claus robbing this bank in Nashville, Tennessee. The first one goes, "He took a little red sack, pulled out a gun, and told everyone to be still. It was a little unbelievable. He was actually jovial, which is scary. He explained that he was robbing the bank because Santa needed to pay his elves. He had a whole outfit on, even the shoes." So, of course, that's all that they were able to tell the officers. He was approximately 6 foot tall and looked like Santa Claus with sunglasses on. And so, in return, there's been no arrest made. Number 5, racy Santa. In November of 2019, a man who had a job as the mall Santa near Penticton in Canada, and I have no idea if I'm saying that right. I'm probably really off, but that's how I'm going to say it. So, Penticton in Canada was fired from his job. It appeared that Santa had some grown adult fans and friends who reportedly had wanted to take photographs with him that were more adult contented. Now, these pictures included Santa spanking them, others who wanted Santa to pretend to be drinking out of a flask during the picture, and then there was one that he took actually away from the mall, away from his job, with some of his friends, of him supposedly grabbing a woman's breast. So that was the photo that kind of went viral and was found online. So after he'd taken these pictures, he uploaded them, his friends uploaded them, not really thinking anything about it. Unfortunately, someone saw the photographs and reported against it and complained against him to his job at the mall there in Canada. So unfortunately, instead of management saying, look, he wasn't on the clock, that's not our responsibility, what he chooses to do on his own free time or whatever it may have been, they actually fired him. In turn, he lost a $5,000 contract with the mall. However, it looks like maybe he was able to keep some of his other jobs around the same area in Canada. And so even though you won't see him at the mall, you may see him floating around town. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you think in this last story, do you think that they should have fired him and let him go from his job? Or do you think they should have been a little bit more lenient on him since he wasn't at work at the time of the photo that caused so much problems for him and was ultimately the cause of him losing his job? The final Santa-inspired story that we're going to talk about today is actually a little bit different than the first 5 that we covered. So the first 5 were a little bit more on the Santa and his elf, or Santa committed the crime, and being kind of bad Santas in real life. However, this next story happened just in the last 2 to 3 weeks, and this is a story about a Santa actually stopping a crime. So let's get into this story here and see what took place. Just a few weeks ago, Santa and his elf were hired by the local Target near a Riverside area and they were running a program to help reduce the amount of shoplifting during the holidays. So these officers would go in, they would be dressed up like Santa and his elf and, keep an eye out for unsuspecting shoplifters to stop. Well, they got a little bit more than they bargained for on this particular day. They had gotten, while of course keeping an eye out on the shoplifting and people exiting the Target and things like that, they heard on the radio that there were 3 white men out in the parking lot trying to steal a Honda CR-V. So, of course, immediately Santa and his elf go into action. And they run outside to try to stop this carjacking from taking place. Now, the driver of the Honda, or the one who was trying to steal and drive away, he did take off in the Honda CR-V. However, his 2 accomplices were caught by Santa and his elf. Take a look.
Santa and his elf moonlighting as a crime-fighting duo. After all, they know who's been naughty or nice. They helped Riverside police nab several suspects at a Target store yesterday. It started with an undercover surveillance operation to catch shoplifters. The pair was waiting right outside to slap on the handcuffs. One of the suspects is accused of stealing $1,000 worth of Lego sets. But things really got interesting when detectives say they spotted 3 men stealing a car in the parking lot. Santa and his elf gave chase, helping to arrest 2 very confused suspects. The third escaped, but they know who he is, and they say he's definitely getting a stocking filled with coal.
Talk about being on Santa's naughty list, huh? Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video this week. I know it's a little bit different with the holidays and everything. I wanted to do something a little bit more lighthearted. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And have you ever heard of any other bad Santa crimes? Oh, and really quick. So my husband and I are having our 3 other children come up and visit for the next week or 2 for the Christmas holiday. So if I don't see you guys again, I wanted to take a minute and wish you a Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, happy holidays to you and your family from ours, and a happy new year. And I hope that 2021 is filled with blessings and health and success and financial stability. So many of the things that 2020 did not have. So happy holidays and happy new year to you and your family, and I will see you at the beginning of next year. Until next time, my mystery lovers. Bye.